Yosemite National Park will be closing today due to dangerous conditions from a nearby wildfire. It is the first time the park has been closed in nearly 30 years. The Ferguson Fire has burned about 38,000 acres in California's Sierra Nevada mountains.
Scorching heat is creating problems for firefighters who will work in nearly 100-degree temperatures today. Tourists are now heading for the exits as a thick layer of smoke is blanketing the park. Dean Reynolds has more.
Battling steep, rugged terrain and oppressive heat, emergency crews are racing to contain the Ferguson fire. For nearly 2 weeks, flames have chewed through more than 57 square miles of forest in the Sierra Nevadas, blanketing nearby Yosemite National Park in a thick cloud of smoke.
We're seeing variable air quality, but it's the sustained exposure that concerns us.
Those concerns led park officials to close the 7.5-mile valley, causing the cancellation of at least 1,000 hotel and lodge reservations during the peak summer season.
It just got to the point, the cumulative effect, poor air quality, the weather forecast saying we're not looking at any relief soon.
The decision gives firefighters time to perform preventative measures without interference from tourists, many of whom have had their trips cut short.
We're going to try to get out of here before the big rush.
Nancy Davenport came from Utah. She says she's been here for a week with 24 family members, but the dangerous air forced them to cancel most of their plans.
It's not healthy to go on hikes or any of the tours. We couldn't, do a lot of the things we wanted to do.
Well, Dean Reynolds joins us now from just outside Yosemite National Park. Actually, you're at the park, Dean. Dean, what are officials saying about why they're closing the park? And do we have any idea just how long it will remain closed?
Well, we think it'll remain closed until Sunday at least, but it's two sections of the park. Unfortunately for tourists, it's the most popular part of the park. It includes Half Dome and El Capitan, those majestic outcroppings that you see people trying to scale and so forth. The real problem here is the smoke. If you can see up on the ridge above me, behind me here, you get a sense of how thick the layer of smoke is, and that is a health issue. It's not so much the flames. The flames are still outside the park, but the winds are carrying the smoke into the park and probably will continue until the flames can be doused outside the park.
And so, Dean, is the biggest challenge for firefighters right now the smoke, the flames, or a combination of both?
Well, it is a combination of both, but it's also the temperature. We were out with them yesterday, and it was scorching hot, and they were quite concerned, about dehydration and heat exhaustion and those sorts of things. So it is the smoke, it is the flames, but it is the heat, and the heat is not going to abate anytime soon.
So what are you hearing from tourists? This must be incredibly disappointing to have to kind of cut your vacation short or cancel it.
It is. I mean, we talk to people who have come from abroad. I mean, from France, from Italy, and, they came to see one of the great sites as in the national park system, and now they got to see it, but it wasn't clear. It was smoky, and they are somewhat disappointed, and many of them we spoke to say they intend to come back and hope for better weather.
Well, hats off to the incredible men and women of the fire department who are working to contain this blaze. Dean Reynolds, you're there at Yosemite. Thank you so much for reporting for us. We appreciate it.